Welcome to the Lost Lowdown podcast 131 with your hosts Claude and Justin.
What's up, guys?
We are back, continuing our season 3 commentary series, or should I say, starting our season 3 commentary series.
That's right. You should.
Show 1, A Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what two cities those are, so I hope this mystery is resolved by the end of the episode.
Me too, but I doubt that it will be. It never is.
I think it's about the characters and not about the cities. I think that's really what the show's about.
No, actually, I think it's all about the cities. That's where we went wrong.
All about the cities. Oh, okay.
No one was paying attention to the cities.
And they were like, here's the two cities we're going to talk about, and no one knew.
Exactly. And for being a Tale of Two Cities, there isn't really much about the other city.
Yikes. So wow, season 3, man.
I know.
We're back where it all didn't start.
Yeah. I guess because we started the podcast at the end of season 2, in a way, season 3 does feel very much like the early days.
Yeah.
And I think it was good that it came at that time. If a season like season 3 came later, it could end up like Dexter, where you just kind of give up completely. Mm-hmm. I think if they were going to have a season like this, this was the time to do it. And it did enable them to work out the deal and, make the plan for the final seasons. So that's good. And I think season 3 has, let's just say, looking at the show globally, I would say that season 3 contains pretty much the beginning of all the long-term storylines. We have the first mention of Jacob. We have, of course, the cabin. As always, we have the smoke monster.
Oh, what's the cabin?
We have the flash forward, so we know they get off the island. We have contact and stuff like that. That's a huge advancement. And so I feel like sort of the seeds for all the long-term, we even have a Dharma flashback.
Yep.
So I feel like, they planted a lot of stuff in this season, but they also did a lot of nonsense. I think it was clear that the flashbacks were running out of steam, and Stranger in Strangeland is the standard episode people point to show that. And so they finally figured out a way to change up to sort of keep the formula, but change the format. I don't know. Stop doing flashbacks basically, but keep up the sort of switching between the island and some kind of flash thingy.
Yeah, flash to something else.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was a really important step in keeping the show interesting.
Yeah.
Because they had clearly finished talking about certain characters, but it was like, well, we have to do a flashback, so what do we got? And obviously them being locked in cages, that's kind of a legendary period for the show, because they aired these first 6 episodes separately, and then there was months of wait.
Yeah. That was really bad. That was really tough. It'd be interesting, for people who watched the show after, I guess, season 3 had aired or something, or it was available on video, to just watch it continuously and not have that kind of artificial break that really groups those first 6 together and goes almost like a mini season, and makes them seem like, wow, this is what season 3 is going to be about.
Yeah. It makes it seem very, very crappy.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it's as bad as its reputation suggests.
Well, that's what I'm interested to see now that we're going to be going back through it. I'm interested to see how, because I think for the most part, some of the worst episodes, that we consider the worst before, now during the rewatch, weren't that bad. There's usually something you can get out of it. There's usually something that's worth watching in it. Even if it's not a mystery episode. And So I'm interested
Totally.
to see what we think about season 3 after this point.
Yeah, Fire Plus Water was still bad, but The Whole Truth wasn't actually bad at all.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I remember really hating that episode, but it really, yeah, it worked. And yeah, it's true. Things definitely look different. You know, we may or may not have made some major breakthroughs in the show recently, and that may help to give a new sort of vision of what's going on with certain things in the show. And I think that change of perspective can change how the episodes look now. You know, we had big anticipations at the time, and you know, we wanted all these mysteries to be solved, and we all had these crazy questions and directions we thought the show would go in, and so I think I'm not surprised that it was disappointing.
I still believe the island is an interdimensional prison, and Jacob is the warden, keeping Man in Black at bay. That's just my theory that I'm pretty sure the show supports.
Well, I don't want to argue with that. You can point out to us during the episode the parts that support your theory.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
Interdimensional prison theory.
That's a good one, man. I have to say I've never heard that one, even on this podcast.
No, I had it on the podcast. That was one of my podcast theories. Remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on the podcast. One of the later, maybe season 5 or 6 theories or something like that.
Oh, I thought it was a spaceship. I didn't remember it being a prison.
Yeah, spaceship prison. Is there a big difference?
It was a prison spaceship.
It's from some other place, and it's high tech, futuristic, or something. Yeah, you're right. I think it may have been spaceship.
Yeah, I thought it was more spaceship. Okay, that's the reason why. Okay, yeah. I do remember that theory. That was a great theory. It was a great theory.
I mean, when you think about it now, it's completely ridiculous. But at the time, it seemed like it was possible.
It did. Lost is a show that makes you feel like things like that are possible, and that's either a good or bad thing.
Well, it's kind of like you go, whoa, it could be this, and you find out, like, it's so not that, and then you feel bad for thinking it's like,
right.
Because, like we said before, the show's like, why did you think that? And it's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
You led us to think that. No, I didn't. Why? You know, you ran yourself into that theory, you know?
Right. Yeah, like, what in the show said to you, spaceship?
Exactly. And my answer would be everything.
Yeah.
All right. So Tale of Two Cities. You want to get this party started?
Let's do it.
Right.
Wait.
So, listeners at home and work and in your cars and a plane, perhaps, get your players ready. If you're going to sync up with us, we'll do the countdown and Tale of Two Cities, this bad boy.
Yeah.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Locke.
I know. That speech.
And we all know it. Love that.
And I'm just saying this so you don't realize Walt burned the raft.
Exactly. Just drawing attention to myself. All right.
That was a really quick summary of the events that led up to that. Man.
That's all you need to know, apparently.
Yeah.
Nothing about the station blowing up.
No.
No.
And like nothing about the whole thing that got them to that dock.
Okay, so then we start with this random blonde woman who we've never seen before, who's crying.
Yeah.
What show are we watching?
This is really disorienting. It's like, is this Desperate Housewives? Like, what's going on?
It still could be Desperate Housewives.
Yeah. It's but this is the lost formula for opening a season. They want to disorient you. they want to put you in a situation where you're like, how does this connect to things I care about? Oh my God, we're about to see. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, this is my memories. So many memories coming back right now.
Yep. I love that look.
Who's that guy?
Uh-oh.
I hope it's no one that we know of. Before.
Oh my God, the subtitles are giving away who it is. Come on,
It's
guys.
actually really bad.
Don't tell us who it is. It's supposed to be a reveal. This is so strange, this scene. Like, these guys are others, and they're
Julie.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to be familiar with each other, I guess.
I guess.
But it's like, what do these people do?
Julie.
Like the people who aren't Juliet, like, who are they?
You know, what a line, right? Talking about free will.
Yeah. Yeah, that totally ties into the whole choice thing.
Crazy.
Yeah, and she was about to say island, of course.
Yeah.
When the thing, yeah, and now we're starting to get nervous.
Is that Tom Cruise's cousin?
I think it is. Yeah, and when Ben comes out, you know there's a problem.
Yeah, and he's in his normal clothes, business casual attire, like
tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we still don't quite realize it. I think it's not until we see this that it all clicks.
You know, yeah, and I mean, then you see it break up, and then because we've never seen this.
Yeah,
we've never seen the plane actually crashing like that.
Yeah, from like afar. Yeah.
Oh wow, the assignments.
Yep.
You go do this. You go do that.
Yeah.
I think there are.
And so it was Ben's idea for them to infiltrate.
Yeah, I mean, this is all really spectacular, and I also don't buy it that he's just this on top of what's going on, and he knows exactly what to say in a split second.
Yep. Yeah, it's fast. It's damn fast. Oh my God.
Ouch. And again, that pairing of these two disparate things of like he's talking about this long-term thing that's going to happen with Goodwin and Ethan, and oh, by the way, the book club.
Yeah,
it gets crazy. And this is why people watch Lost. This opening explains why Lost was so great.
Yeah,
that whatever couple minutes that was exactly why the show was a hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Crying woman burning cupcakes or muffins to plane crashing, infiltration, insanity. Exactly.
And like that little scene we watch where they discuss Carrie, like it's such a contrast with what we know of the others, so it just raises all these crazy questions of like how could these people be the ones we know as the others? Like it's such an interesting scene or sequence of scenes, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's Jack doing a little stalking.
That Modern Family's Julie.
I was gonna say, I think Jack is stalking Claire Dunphy.
Phil is not gonna appreciate this man stalking his wife.
I have to say, not a huge fan of the show, but I think she's way better on Modern Family than on Lost.
She's so great on there.
Her character is just better. I mean, I think
she was wasted on this.
Totally,
she's Happy Gilmore, so I think she's really just better at comedy.
Yeah, that's probably true. But I do think the character is kind of bland.
It's really just the character that's bland too.
Yeah.
So Jack is locked in somewhere. We have no idea where he is.
Yep.
Somewhere with the others.
Yeah.
I guess this is after their book club. Oh, that was a flashback. So that's the other thing too. I mean, we know it's a flashback, but
yeah.
I think for the audience, you can be confused about the timeline here.
Yeah. No, for that first part, you need to. Oh God,
force field.
I remember when you thought that was a force field.
My mind for half a second. I was like, "They got force fields now." Which, of course, they do have a sonic fence, which is like a force field. But yeah, I thought that was a force field.
Yeah.
If they didn't have that reverse shot where you can see the seam in the glass and the different panes of glass, it's still, I would be like, force field until he starts kicking it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fairly hard to see the way they clean that glass really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you can see his breath on there, I think that helps.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the cuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that opening scene is really really incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of like textbook how to write a great sequence, you know.
Yeah.
There's so much on there.
Yeah. I think you're right. Like, the fact that Ben knows what to tell them immediately is kind of unbelievable, but yeah, I think they wanted to get that done, you know?
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, he just reacts like immediately.
Honey, I'm gay.
You know, people said that at the time. They're like, if Kate's not his type, he must be gay. And it was true.
It was true.
I was like, really, guys? But it was true.
Because Kate's every straight man's type, so, exactly. I mean, obviously.
That was the implication.
What? Another Dharma logo? That's what was, you know, again, of course, that's what was great about the show. That's why we podcasted forever, was all these little clues just blew your mind. Like, here's an extra thing. What does that mean? What's that animal on there?
Yeah.
Oh, and then, of course, the other reveal, we haven't found out yet, that they're not on the main island.
That's true. Yeah, it's actually multiple episodes before we find that out.
Yeah. That's a whole, that's just huge, too.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot Carl's there.
Well, Carl, you'll make it to the end. Don't worry.
Yeah. He's not even supposed to be in that cage.
Not even supposed to be in there.
Did I just hear a rooster crow?
Rooster too, man. I hear also, and I'm like, I've never heard that rooster crow.
What the fuck?
Why there's roosters on an island? I guess the polar bear can explain.
Wow, that's so strange.
Why is it? And it seems like it was a bit late in the day for it to be crowing, but
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's supposed to be the morning. I have no idea.
Why is there a knife and fork on this button? Polar bears don't understand those symbols.
Civilized polar bears eat with a knife and fork.
That's a weird. I never thought of that, but it's like that helps us know what that button's for. But like, polar bear shouldn't need to know knife and fork.
No. And even if they do, they're gonna be like, "Why? Why did you put this there?"
Exactly. Yeah.
It makes no sense.
You know, they did show that lever too. They set up how he should do it.
Yeah.
Force field.
Oh, I remember this. He's like, "All right, I'm just gonna pull on this chain.
Just climb up the chain,
and somehow, by pulling on this chain, I will escape."
Is that like a hatch up there? What is he expecting to get done?
Like, I never understood what he was trying to do.
It seems like what happened is he was making noise, like a distraction, but I don't know what we're supposed to believe.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be like, and I'm gonna be your favorite character on this show for a while. God, I love Juliet so much.
Yeah, you probably won't believe me, but yeah, no, she's great, and it really helps. I think that she got a great introduction.
It did, yeah, that introduction really, because you start knowing that she and Ben are not on the same page.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Lawyer. Oh, lawyers. Who needs lawyers, right?
You need lawyers when there's truth. Who loves Sarah?
Oh, they had cell phones back then.
They did. They were all flip phones, though.
True. True. That's a good point. Nothing smart about that phone.
No.
Oh, don't chuckle.
Don't chuckle with your back to me.
He didn't say anything funny. You know it.
Exactly. What could he? Why would he have joked at that point? Come on.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's like, laugh now. It's gonna make Jack angry.
Exactly. Jacob. His name is Jacob.
Oh my god.
They have the same eye color.
Oh yeah.
Very close. I can tell with this crystal clear Blu-ray.
The best quality that you will ever see lost.
Ever get. A quote from Carlton and Damon.
Oh, they got a sound system. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's still pulling. Oh yeah, this is that period where Jack like yells a lot.
Yeah, he's just really indignant and like yeah, it is kind of weird what he's doing on that table, pulling that chain.
Yeah, there's just no goal here. And you know, like I didn't trust Juliet because she's with the others, even if she's like with Ben. But
Yeah.
like now watching this, she's so clearly the reasonable one.
So clearly, it looks like how much she was like, you know, a teacher dealing with a kindergarten child.
Exactly. Now we don't do that.
No, we don't get on tables when we don't get what we want. She loves taking showers.
Yep, she's a shower taking.
Wear this,
lady.
I'm gonna get a piece of tape and then write on that tape, wear this. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. And they could have just put it in the locker that she had it in before.
That would have been too convenient. Well, you know, that's probably a production thing because they would have been like, is that what she wore before? Why is it there? Maybe this was easier, but
yeah.
He's like, you're my nut type now.
Yeah.
I've never seen a woman in a dress before. That's a whole different thing.
This changes everything.
That's all it takes.
That's it.
Also, why was there a locker room with all those lockers? I never really thought about that.
For all the scientists to change clothes. I have no idea.
When you do science, you got to change clothes.
You gotta change clothes constantly. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, they were experimenting on animals and stuff. Maybe you get dirty. I don't know. They had an aquarium.
So this is weird. This just starts weird. Yeah, you should back up. This is very like Island of Dr. Moreau, where it's like he's the leader, and you don't know what's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
You're my new bride, Kate. You know, like, you don't know what he's gonna say.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, because like he's terrifying at this point because we have no idea what he wants or what he's gonna do. We only know him to be a huge liar.
There's those handcuffs. No eggs.
No.
No coffee.
You don't get any coffee.
There it is.
Classic.
That is great. And she's like, well, I want that coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm gonna have some coffee, so
handcuffs go on. I'll give you cream in your coffee. of a nice character thing though, because we know she's born to run, so she knows how to put on handcuffs where she can get out of them.
That's true. That's so weird.
I really wish she said, why did you burn my clothes?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you haven't seen water before. Uh-oh.
That's a bad sign. What? And by the next 2 weeks, I mean the
So
next
it's
6
kind of like,
episodes.
I wanted to give you all this stuff, but I also wanted you to have this nice breakfast with fear and anxiety.
Yep.
No?
Yep.
She's not going to be able to eat now.
I know. And she doesn't eat, of course.
Yeah.
As usual. No one ever eats.
It's Man in Black.
Not again. What does he want this time?
It's okay, Jack, I got a loophole. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That was great. Someone's got some splaining to do.
Let it go.
Yep. That's huge. Ouch.
Hey. Well, I guess you could be obsessed about alcohol.
Yeah. I mean, that technically is what alcoholism is, but, he's making a different point.
Yeah. It's true. It's a weird flashback. It makes Jack seem crazy. Like, as the main character, as our hero, it's strange to...
But it's actually interesting, though, because it is getting towards, when he does lose it about going back to the island, when he gets... Because that's the thing where, he starts the show being this rock-solid kind of guy. Mostly, more or less rock-solid kind of stable guy that we depend on. But then we see these moments where in his past he was obsessive and losing his mind and...
Yeah.
Oh, and this?
Why
that happened, we'll never know.
Never, ever. Did the smoke monster sneak in?
Here's the question. We know from season 6, apparently, Smokey can't cross the water, right?
Yeah,
he can't
true.
Island, right?
So he took a boat.
He took a boat. Oh, man. And then got on some other intercom over there and waited the appropriate amount of time.
It's ridiculous, but it's theoretically possible.
So I think that's the Occam's razor answer. He just imagined that.
Yeah. I think that more or less works. But I think there is a problem because I believe the intercom comes into play later.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And
it's a great looking sandwich.
It's a little burned.
No, but that's part of why it looks good.
Ah, okay.
Because it wouldn't taste burned,
Yeah, that's true. But I prefer it a little more golden brown.
I like Jack when he's like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that he kind of made a joke as
I
I
guess
think
you say
about
I
it.
like Matthew Fox when he's acting this way.
Yeah, no, he's great at this. That's why he's
Yeah.
perfect for the part.
I just put the toothpicks in.
Oh, I think you know Juliet. Oh, I think you know Juliet.
He was dead. Not that he is dead.
Mm-hmm. I did just hear him on the intercom.
Yep. We're gonna end up together forever. Oh,
Mm.
she's not gonna say that now? One quarter pucker.
Oh, Jack. She doesn't have all the answers.
She only has the toothpicks.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I do love that bite of like, well,
Yeah.
he's not gonna eat it. I will.
Yeah, that was nice.
Here we go. I want whatever comes out of that machine. A reference he wouldn't get.
He didn't get it. My name is Carl. Wow, that lock seemed relatively easy to pick.
Yeah.
And why did he scare him like that? That was weird.
And how do you scare someone when people have a whole wide field of vision? He would have been able to see
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It's just the camera thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you go that way. That was weird.
So he lets him out just to get him caught.
I don't even know what. Maybe he just let him out so that he
I
would
love this.
have less of a chance to be caught. Yeah, this is nice. Those two. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like love at first sight, right?
Yeah, exactly. You had me at taser in the neck.
This music is so 60s.
Yeah.
Like the little bongos or whatever, and
Yeah. I guess it's supposed to be islandy. I don't know,
Yeah,
Dunkley
yeah.
or something. But yeah, you're right. It's old fashioned sounding. They go for that though. It's very classical.
yeah.
Oh, they make him apologize? That's kind of weird. Like to Sawyer? Like
Now go see the judge, right? Like
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that seems like the implication. Actually, no, they're gonna take him to room 23.
Oh, he's got to be. Yeah, he should have. Why wasn't he there in the first place? Huh?
Good
I
question.
guess the prison was enough, and then that didn't work. So now he's got to be reprogrammed.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't supposed to be in that cage.
I forgot that. Start.
Or maybe you already have.
Ooh, sense of humor on this one.
Ooh, sick burn. I like the finger.
You fed me my own medicine. Mm.
Yep. That was great.
Yeah. She's just like way too reasonable.
I know, it's like, God damn it, it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're saying what I'm thinking.
Basically, yeah, saying what he would say in her position.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I remember when I originally saw this, when she walks out, if I remember right, let's hope it goes the way I remember. I remember thinking like this was her way of breaking him.
Mm.
Because she walks out and like I didn't get the impression that
It
she was
seemed like
give him the
it seemed like she just completely tricked him.
Yeah.
Because
because she walks out the room and they go to a flashback.
yeah, it makes it seem like, oh, I'll give you this food if you do what I say, and then she's like, yeah, I just controlled you, like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. But then the next scene, she's just walking in with the food.
Yeah, it's a little much.
So it's just like, okay, well,
See? That's the guy that made her laugh.
Yeah. Oh.
Supposed to connect and he's got the same flip phone.
That's a good point. The laughing man.
Too much laughing.
He's just hilarious, that Christian. Non-stop comedy.
The valet's like, well, look at that big red square.
Is that a painting?
It's some sort of art piece. It looks cool, but it's really strange.
Yeah. Oh God. That was a great look. Oh, we've heard a lot about you.
A lot about you. Grab the one chair that's here. Wow.
Let it go. Okay, that's it. Yeah, no, what I was going to say about those flashbacks is that, I forgot he attacks her.
Yeah.
Is that I think they help sell the flash forward as a flashback because we see Jack being like desperate and crazy in flashbacks. And so it feels consistent with what we've seen this season. It's like, oh, look at Jack, he's hitting rock bottom finally, but he's been on this path already, Yeah. And we don't realize that the island was in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right.
Just like I always do.
Okay. Yeah, you won't, though. That was great. And I love the mystery of what's behind that goddamn door.
Yeah.
Why would it kill everyone?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a mini version of the button.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I like this thing where like Ben locks her in.
Yeah. That kind of sounds like Smokey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it was water.
Ha! Would have expected that.
Yeah.
Well, part of the storytelling reason, like if Ben doesn't lock her out, then Jack probably just dies in this water because he wouldn't know where to
Yeah,
go.
that's true. That's true. And the way they play at the end, it's like it was all part of the plan.
Yeah, that's true.
It seemed like it was slowing down anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it was gonna fill up to the ceiling.
Yeah, so like it didn't really kill them. It's just water after all.
Oh, nice. And then I love that.
Yeah, I love she knocks him out with one punch.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Like Stone Cold knockout.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have to carry you now.
She's really, I mean, they've really given her so much to do in like 4 scenes. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
How much character they're getting out of her in like 4 scenes.
Yeah, it's a really good introduction. And there's still a lot of unanswered questions.
Meanwhile, Sawyer's dealing with this. I mean, this is the problem with season 3 in a nutshell. Like,
yeah, Sawyer's just got like a simple puzzle to solve.
Wow, he's gonna use the shoe.
Yep. I'm gonna throw a shoe.
Also, the music makes no sense for Polar Bear either.
Yeah.
But if you're a human playing a game...
Right.
And of course,
famous fish biscuit.
The words in the fish biscuit make no sense either.
Oh yeah, that's true. But they do put their thing on everything, their logo.
Yeah, but it's usually a logo, not an engraving or whatever
that's
that
true.
is.
Yeah, I think the water's the most valuable thing here.
Catherine?
Oh my god. Oh my god, I wish he said that. Catherine?
Is it you?
What happened to her?
Who jangled those chains? Somebody jangled. Bears in the cage, that's a revelation.
Yeah, it was, you're right. Yeah, I forgot we didn't know that already.
He fed me breakfast.
I know. It's like... Yeah, no, there were people seasons later thinking there was going to be an explanation for these wrists.
Yeah.
It really wouldn't die. Deleted scene. That it actually was. I think maybe this is the origin of the deleted scene thing.
I think it is, yeah.
The scene was weird. Like, she's tied up to a locker and she just starts pulling on the handcuffs, trying to pull her hands out.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's fine that they cut it, but they had to have continuity here.
Well, if they didn't even mention it, then we could have just assumed what he said happened. Like, she was wearing them, and
right.
I guess that's even a bit much. She would have had to have been pulling on them for it to scratch her like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna forget your face one day. That's all I think. Every time they have those moments, it's just cut to the future where like it's all gonna be.
It's really weird. And she's going to be the catalyst for a nuclear bomb getting
Jeez, yeah.
Exploded. You looked at her, James.
You looked at her with your eyes.
You used your eyes. Oh yeah, that was a reveal too, actually.
Yeah.
When he says sharks, it's like, the shark, the famous.
Although it kind of doesn't make sense, right? Like, kind of doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
How that machine's supposed to work with a shark or a dolphin in there? Like, they need to be in water, so that whole thing fills up with water, but somehow it harnesses them also. Like, I don't know. It kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Unless they're dead when they're on that thing. It's for autopsies or something.
Yeah, I don't know how people like operate on sharks.
And they're not actually underwater, are they?
I think this part is supposed to be underwater. Like they have to go downstairs to get there.
Oh, okay, I remember that. One of those shots.
Yeah, there's a few shots like that.
How do they know that? I know anything that's in public record. Anything more than that, I won't know. Who are you people?
Yeah. How did you?
Mm-hmm.
We got it.
We got it. That's how we got it. We got it.
I love answers like that. We got it.
Yeah.
The end.
How'd you do that? I did it.
Yeah, like, do they have connections with the police? Are there infiltrator others, like, in various locations?
No, just with the peopleinfo.com, and it's just freely available, any public record information. That's what I love. It seems so supernatural, but if you look at it, it's all public record stuff that anyone could get.
Really, like autopsy reports you can get?
Yeah, all this stuff is public record. Well, autopsy, depends. That depends. But death records, at least, are usually public.
Sure.
But, I mean, yeah, but then, of course, we know that they get off the island and they, Ben could go to the morgue or wherever and get an autopsy report or whatever that's filed,
Yeah.
The hospital or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just sort of wondering what kind of connection they have.
Yeah, one of the hospital administrators is an other or something,
Yeah. Yeah, something like that, probably.
This is why we're getting a divorce, Jack.
If it isn't already obvious.
So goodbye. Goodbye, cab. It's like you pay for it yourself. Oh.
He got down that stairs fast.
Yeah.
She was like way ahead of him.
Wait, that's not my father. Is that the guy who makes you laugh? I almost think she said it only matters who he's not.
Yeah, that would work.
Because I don't know what it means when she says it only matters who you're not. Like, what does that mean? Oh.
So, see, I think this is kind of amazing because they basically tell us that Christian was sober, but because of Jack, he started drinking again.
He couldn't take the Jack being that upset at him, yeah.
So, like, the drunk Christian that Jack reports later was incited by Jack himself.
So he was on the road to recovery, 50 days of sobriety, and Jack ruined it. Jack never takes responsibility for that.
Not at all. And that's a crazy thing to tell us. Like, wow. Like, they're really making Jack look bad in this episode. And this is the beginning of the season. It's like, oh my god, our hero is crazy.
Yeah, does your special report show that she's happy? What?
Yeah.
How do you know she's happy? And that's what makes it seem supernatural.
Exactly. Well, look, they have a machine that measures good and evil. Maybe they have a machine that measures happy and sad.
Yeah,
and they
right.
went to her, and they took a reading.
Yeah, it's all possible. So because I told you information about yourself and I told you that your ex-wife is happy, you'll comply with me now? I don't understand how that works as a story, but it works as a story.
Yeah.
Seems like he should actually face the wall, not put his back against
Yeah, I
it.
agree. Seems like that would be more safe. But yeah, at this point, he seems kind of not really interested in attacking again.
Yeah. Plus, he's whatever side effects are really kicking in now. Oh my God! It was all planned.
And that's when we learn his name.
Holy crap!
What?
Those eyes.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that'll do it. I'll keep watching.
It works. It works.
Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, again, people complain about the show. People don't like how it ended, whatever you want to complain about, but this is a great example of why people were so invested in this show. Like it's just firing on nothing's happening. It's all character
Yeah.
stuff, and it's still firing on all cylinders. The storytelling is still just really interesting, and they just throw 15 things at you at once.
Yeah. I mean, the only big thing we got, which included character stuff, was the first scene, the big flashback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Showing us the other's perspective, showing where the others live, quote unquote. Of course, as usual with Lost, that's not what it seems.
Mhm.
Because my conclusion from that would be that's where the others always lived. Because like season 2 led up to this point where it's like, oh no, they're these crazy jungle. I love that time when Michael's like, they are hillbillies.
They
And
are.
like, no, I promise, they really are hillbillies. And like, Kate finding the fake beard and the costumes and stuff, and that whole final scene, like, now I think they know, and it's like, oh, they've always been living in this like weird little suburbia on the island,
Yeah.
and like that's where they live their lives normally, but then they dress up like these crazy jungle people in order to like scare people and stuff. That's what it gives the impression, but that's not really true.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how many layers of crap there are, but I think so far it makes the others seem even more interesting. I think that starts to change at a certain point, but at this point, it's still working because, I mean, we end with they've got all this crazy information. They know his wife's happy, and then Ben's like, yeah, good work, So
Mhm.
it's like they seem sinister. They seem like they have a plan, and we don't
Yeah.
realize how simple all this is, that it's just about him getting back surgery.
So crazy. It's just about the back surgery. And
Yeah.
but you know what you're saying about how okay, we get to the show starts, the Losties are on the island, it seems like nobody's there, then they tell us, no, there's the others, they're there. Okay. The others, but they're hillbillies, they live in the jungle. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you get with the others and you go, no, they don't live in the jungle. They live in the barracks. Okay, they were living in this little suburbia in the barracks, and then you get to that. Oh no! That was for Dharma. The others actually were originally just living in the jungle for real,
Yeah, exactly.
as hostiles. And then
Yeah.
okay, it's like every time it's kind of how their storytelling works is every time you get to the horizon moves.
Yeah.
So every time you get to what the answer is, the answer moves away to point to a new answer.
Yeah.
So then even the hostiles weren't even the hostiles, right? They weren't even the original people on the island. So
Right.
it even goes further back than that. And then if you go even back to Mother, okay, a Mother came there at some point, right? I mean,
Yep.
we have to assume, even Man in Black and Jacob weren't from the island. So,
Right.
like, the horizon just keeps moving, and you can never get to it's like a mirage. You can just never get to it.
Yeah. There is no ultimate thing.
Yeah, there is no ultimate
It's
thing,
just
which
a
is
long chain.
the whole point of the show, which you don't really understand because no show is like that ever.
Right. Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Most shows like have a sort of story where there's like points to things and like end endpoints to storylines, and origins for things. You watch a scene and it's like, that's where that came from. And Lost has some stuff like that, but it usually leads to more things. It's like, oh, that's where that came from, but there's also this other thing going on. So with the barracks, it's like, yeah, the others lived in the barracks for a time, but that was after the purge.
Yeah.
And, actually that was built by Dharma. And in fact, the others used to live in the jungle. Then they later started, and it's just like, what? It's already crazy. And that's just like the later part of the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I think it's for how little actually happened in the episode, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, for the flashback to be Jack thinks his wife is dad. Jack thinks his dad is cheating with his wife, and that's the bulk of the that's really not much, but it's interesting. You're watching it, you want to find out what's happening.
I think it works because of how far he takes it, like how far over the edge he goes,
Yeah.
To the point of like walking into that like Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and like attacking his dad, getting thrown in jail, starting off as like he's stalking Sarah at the beginning. It's just like so. It's so strange to have. I mean, he's flawed, but I don't think you've ever seen Jack. Off the island in flashbacks, like pushed to this level of kind of like creepy or disturbing behavior.
Yeah.
And I think it makes him interesting, the fact that he has that, level of, I don't know, malfunction in his psychology.
Some might say he's broken.
Yeah.
And that's why he's coming to the island, is to be fixed, I guess Jacob would say. I don't know.
He would probably say that.
But yeah. So it's really interesting that, yeah, you're right. That's why it's interesting is seeing Jack being pushed that far, and the whole thing about letting it go, right? So that's a huge thing.
That was a huge theme in the episode, which obviously they carried through all the way to the last one. And it's interesting. That's what Christian says on the intercom, and multiple times in the flashback, and that ends up being like a big part of what Jack needs to do in his story. And you don't really realize how important that is when you're watching this episode.
Yeah,
because it seems kind of relatively contained, to just that storyline, that time when he thought his dad was sleeping with his ex-wife. Like. Mm-hmm. It seems like that's all it's about. Let that go. And by that, I mean that I'm sleeping with your wife.
Yeah.
Not like let it go in the general sense.
Mm-hmm. It being anything and everything.
Exactly. That's the larger point. And and it makes Christian more sympathetic as well. Like,
which he was the bad guy beginning when we saw,
Exactly. Yeah. Like up until now, he's been, and his last flashback with Ana Lucia, like he was totally bottoming out in Australia before he dies there.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw him, at his low point, and so in general, he's been a bad guy, and I think that helped, for using him as the avatar for the smoke monster, but I think here we see, I think, the redemptive side of Christian, I guess, because he really doesn't do anything bad in this episode. He seems totally reasonable, and he seems like he was completely on track to like put his life back together, and then Jack walks in and starts yelling at him, being crazy, and it drives him back to drinking again.
Yeah. And then Jack is the one who rats him out for it.
Yeah.
Which ends up ruining him his life and leading to his death. And it's oh, I feel like that goes under the radar. How much Jack is responsible for Christian's journey there.
Yeah, I agree. But it does put in another light, because I think his mother, Jack's mother, said something about that in one of the previous flashbacks. Like it was your fault. Like you gotta go make up for what you did.
You're right. And we don't understand what that is, and that's yeah.
Like, it seemed strange, and like, yeah, because he reported his dad. I mean, it seemed like that was all it means. But if you put this in, I think it works a little better because he's sort of at the center of all of Christian's problems.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the fact that he is the catalyst for all of what turned out to be his problems is it's pretty astounding. Because it's easy for him to just say, well, it was all my dad's fault, like because he told me I didn't have what it takes or whatever, you know. But like, it seems like he wanted to turn that around.
You know, we talk about how all these characters have daddy issues, and I'm wondering, like, maybe they just have self issues. Like, maybe could all of these people and their daddy issues go back to them, like, you know, being really the problem?
Yeah, exactly. It seems like the way he reacts to Christian is the problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Although Christian really could have just given him his phone and proved that he wasn't talking to Sarah, but
that's true. That I remember that being frustrating to me in the episode. Like, he keeps asking, like, "Can I just? I want to see your phone." And then at the end with Sarah, like, "Who is that guy? Is that the guy?" And she won't tell him. She won't verify it. You know. Even though I think
that's the part of him needing to let go, right?
Exactly.
Like, they can't appease him in that way, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, because if they do that, then he won't.
What were you saying?
If they do that, then he won't make the necessary step to, you know, let go in general.
Well, I was gonna say that is what is relates him to what's up on the island. You know, that his the man of faith, you know, idea of that he wants answers.
Right.
You know, he wants everything nice and neatly explained and spelled out so he can process it. And they're basically saying, you're not going to get that. You can't get that.
Right.
You know, and it's basically priming him for what happens on the island.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, like, you're better off if you accept that you won't get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that's really what you need to do.
Yeah. Wow. All right, so what were the two cities?
So I believe that when this episode came out, they said the two cities were Otherville or Dharmatown or the barracks, and you know, the main camp, the Losties camp, the beach,
which were never shown in the episode.
Which were never shown. That's what I was trying to say. Like, we only see one of the two cities.
A tale of the second city should have been like the title or something. Yeah.
I guess it's like A Tale of Two Cities was all the way up until now. We've seen the one city, and now we're going to cut to the other one. I mean, I think that's maybe
kind of like, this is a tale of two cities. Now here's where the second city comes into place.
Exactly. I think that maybe that's what they had in mind. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is strange that we don't see anything from this.
It's kind of saying, like, this show isn't just about the original Losties. Like, it's actually about the people in this other place too on the island.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So the episode isn't A Tale of Two Cities. The season sort of is.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like you have to take it more widely for it to work at all. I mean, the fact that it gives us the origin of, not the origin, but it lets us see for the first time the place where the others were living when the plane crashed. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I guess that's why the title's appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a little bit strange. It makes it seem like the Dharma station is the other city or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know what else to think, because that's all we see. Unless the other city is Los Angeles.
Yeah. And everybody knows that's not a city.
Which I doubt. Exactly.
All right, well, this is a pretty good episode. I liked it.
Yeah. It was good.
I mean, Juliet, ladies and gentlemen.
Juliet was great.
She hits the ground running.
Yeah. She's already an interesting character, and I think, you know, we're going to see a couple of other characters introduced very soon. Infamous characters. And I think this shows that you can introduce new characters and you can claim that they were there the whole time.
I know where this is going.
And it can work if you give it the right, context. Mm-hmm. If you introduce the characters in a way that's interesting to watch, we will see what they do with certain other characters. I don't think really lives up to that. What they do in this episode, Juliet, it's not even close, really. And I think everyone, well, okay, that's a bit excessive, but I think most Lost fans accepted Juliet.
I think the biggest problem is not that they, the idea, okay, this character was there the whole time. It's that they were there the whole time and you didn't see them. That's the part people don't buy. Because we, in the first 2 seasons, there's never any shots where we're supposed to believe Juliet was around.
Right.
In some place we could have seen. We can say, okay, she was on the other side of the island, sure. But with Nikki and Paolo, we're supposed to believe they're quote unquote in these shots. We just don't see them or something.
Right.
It's no one's gonna buy that. Then on top of that, they didn't make them interesting characters. So that, the double fail.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I feel like they could have saved it if they were interesting characters.
Yeah.
We'll
expose. We'll get back to those guys.
I like expose, but I still think it doesn't really save the characters.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting meta episode that just lives in this other realm of crazy lost hallucinatory dream.
It is almost like a Flash Sideways episode.
Yeah.
It's some other reality is happening.
It's on another level from the rest of the show. Not necessarily a higher level, but it's it's just somewhere else. It's really strange. I think it's interesting that it exists, but it'll be very interesting rewatching it because I don't remember it that well. It's been a long time since I watched that episode.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think about it much afterwards because obviously what happens in that episode doesn't have a lot of consequence for the rest of the show. Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh. All right. Anything else about the episode?
No, I think that's good. I mean, it's not really. It is mainly a character-centric episode. We do get one big reveal, but of course, us, the podcasters, have known that the whole time, and I don't think there's really anything about it that's still really mysterious. I mean, I think mostly we understand what's going on there.
Yeah.
I do think they got confused about lists at a certain point. Who made what lists and why? But that'll come into play more later, because here it's just make a list of the people who are there, and that's fine. The nothing's gone wrong yet. So overall, it's not a big mystery episode, I guess, but it's solid. It definitely works.
Yeah, for sure. So I was just on Lostpedia looking at the production notes here, and this note about the little girl.
Oh yeah.
It's a deleted scene that involves Jack saving a girl that's suffocating on the playground at Sarah's school. After saving the girl, she tells Jack not to trust, quote, her, and then the girl is seen in the Hydra and promotion stills for the episode, which I don't know what that means. But
seeing those.
That's pretty crazy. That I don't remember that deleted scene. I don't know if that was on the disc or not. But I'm wondering if if it was filmed or not. But
no, I'm pretty sure it was filmed. I think it was just cut, but I don't think it was on the DVD.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious how that would have played out. Did Sarah know Jack saved her? Was Sarah around, or was it? Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and Since you remind me of that, that makes me think a little more so that it was the smoke monster on the intercom.
Yeah, the idea that like the girl would have showed up and it would have been Smokey.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it also could just be hallucination because Juliet does explicitly mention that.
Yeah.
But if he really saw a person in there, then that would increase my suspicion that it's Smoke Monster
Yeah.
on the intercom. And it would add up a bit more. And he can go to that island because that's where he was like originally, when Locke's body crashes there, like that's where he shows up.
Yeah.
He just can't fly over there or something, or maybe he can and he just said like he couldn't. I don't even know.
Or it's that he's in Locke's body now, so he can't. Or
Right? Yeah. There's like so many
variables. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would imagine Sarah would see him. I feel like that should be the point of the scene, like Sarah realizing that he was there watching her,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why are they doing here, Jack? Yeah.
Exactly.
Just saving a little girl. Nothing.
Hey.
I'm just on my patrol to save children, and I happen to see her here. So.
Yeah, it's something I do with my Tuesday mornings.
I'm a doctor. Come on.
Don't you know what doctors do, Sarah?
What doctors do. See, this is why we're getting divorced, because you don't know what doctors do.
Exactly. This was doomed to fail from the start.
Why don't you go laugh on the phone with whoever that guy is?
Yeah, exactly.
Chuckle it up, Chuckles.
Mm-hmm. The telephone comedian.
The telephone comedian. He only makes jokes on the phone. He's not funny at all, but on the phone, the story.
Exactly.
So they only like have a long distance relationship because he's just boring in real life.
That's a sketch.
It's only a sketch. She's like, why don't you move across the country? Otherwise, this relationship will not work.
Oh man, they should do that.
All right, well, I guess we'll be back with the next episode. Glass Ballerina, everybody's favorite.
Lost classic.
Yeah. All the answers are buried in Glass Ballerina, right?
Every single one.
Mm-hmm.
And then some.
All right, until next time, thanks and namaste.
Namaste and good luck.